All right, last time we visited Dick's, and today we're gonna visit REI. I want to see what bikes they have in here and see what the prices look like. I was walking up to the store and there was two people walking out with brand new bikes. So that's already a good sign. People are still buying bikes, but they were both hybrid bikes. But let's go in here, look around, and see what they got in here. All right, so we walk in and right away we see something great. This is REI's in-house brand co-op, and this is actually pretty nice. I like it. Now this bike is $599. It's got hydraulic Tektro brakes on it, which are really decent. It's got the SR Suntour XCM32 fork on it. It's got Kenda tires, and it's a 2x8 drivetrain. But this bike is only $599. Now, do you think this bike is worth it at $599 for a 2x8 drivetrain, hydraulic disc brakes, and Kenda tires with the Suntour fork on it? That's a tough one. But I gotta go out on a limb and say I think it's worth it. For what I'm looking at right now, with the tapered head tube as well, I do think this is worth it. I think that's a great price for what you get with this bike. And it looks like a super modern mountain bike, and it's sick with the color scheme. And I kind of like this little area right here. This is a good looking bike. As soon as I walked into the store, this is what I saw. The bikes used to be in the back, but now they are all right here in the front, which makes a lot of sense because you had to really look for the bikes to be able to find them last time. But right now, as soon as you walk in, you see the bikes. See, this is where it gets tough because this bike actually looks really good. This Rocky Mountain Fusion, I think it is. It says Fusion right here. So I'm guessing that's what this is. Fusion 30. This is $999. Now this bike is super sick. I am not gonna lie. It looks really good. But at $999, whew, that's a tough one. It's got Shimano M200 brakes on there, I'm guessing. It's got the SR Suntour fork, the XCR, I'm not sure, but it's got the black stanchions, which means it's a little bit better than the 32. It's got a 1x12 drivetrain, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3. Hold up, wait. Oh man, it's got a 1x10. See, at $1,000, man. I don't know if you know what hit these bikes yet, but $1,000, that's a tough one. See, you would be better off going with the co-op if you were a beginner, in my opinion. Even though this bike looks sick, for $1,000, if you just got a thing against 2x drivetrains, whew, this would be tough. But you still get a better fork though, so I don't know, that's a tough one. All right, so this is where the ridiculousness starts. So this is the Rocky Mountain Element. If I'm not mistaken, these are the same brakes that are on that Rocky Mountain Fusion, which is about $2,000 less. This bike is $32.99. Can you believe that? So I'm not sure. I think this is a cross-country bike. I'm not sure. It's got cross-country tires, but $32.99, and it's got a RockShox Recon on it, and the Shimano Dior derailleur 1x12 drive. Man, this is actually just ridiculous. This is the insanity I'm talking about. All right, what's cool about REI that I didn't know is they do sell pre-owned bikes. So this right here is the Salsa Horse Thief, and it's $3,000 with 10% off. And I'm not sure if that's before or after the $3,000. And I haven't asked anybody to confirm, but it is 10% off. As well as this Salsa right here. I think this is brand new though. This is 30% off, and it's saying $1,500. And I think that's a great value for what you get with this bike. Salsa fat tire bikes are awesome. So this is where all the bikes used to be, but I guess they moved them out front. But there are still bikes in here. So maybe this is just the overstock and they got the main bikes that they want to be seen out in front, because these all look like the same bikes as the ones out in front. But the service is back here. So I'm back here. I was walking around the store and I just found this bike in the back. This is a Diamondback. I'm not sure what brand this is, but it's got full Fox suspension with SRAM guide brakes, and it's got a Fox 34 on it, which is super nice. And this is $29.99, so $3,000 for this Diamondback. I think that's a pretty decent value. Now I know this is expensive for a lot of people, but where bikes are going and the way prices are nowadays, for what you get on this bike, I do think it's a decent price. Oh yeah, and it's got a GX derailleur on it. I'm not sure if it's full GX drivetrain or whatever, but it's got a GX derailleur on it. So yeah, this is pretty good. $29.99. That's definitely expensive, but as far as the value, it is a better value than the other bikes over there, such as that Rocky Mountain Element. But I don't know, is Diamondback even still around? These bikes might not even be relevant anymore, but we can't complain when we get a decent bike at a decent price. REI's in-house brand, Co-op, does have a full suspension bike as well. So that is an option. And this one is at $1,800. Now at $1,800, I'm not sure how I feel about that. See, look, they still have those same Shimano brakes as the 3200 Rocky Mountain. I know somebody might correct me. They might not be exactly the same, but they're close enough. This is a RockShox Recon, the same fork that's on the $3,200 bike. So if you were choosing between the two, depending on what skill level you were, I would say this one is probably the better value if you were towards the beginner to intermediate. And this does have a 1x12 drivetrain with the SRAM derailleur. And also, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if this, no, these are 27.5, so that is a difference. But these are still the same tires that are on that Rocky Mountain. And I think this might be a 27.5 just because this is a small frame. I don't think I see one over here that's a bigger size, so I'm not able to confirm, but usually the small frame sizes have 27.5 tires. But going back to this one, when we first walked in, this hardtail DRT 1.1, this might be your best option if you're a beginner to intermediate in this store, because I do think this is a really nice bike and you get a pretty good value for what you get on this bike. Now, one downside to this might be a dropper. I don't see anywhere in this area where you could route a dropper. It might be possible, but I'm not seeing it right off the bat like I normally would, but that might be an issue. But yeah, this is definitely for beginner / intermediate just getting into the sport. This will probably be the best option in REI in my opinion. And the frame actually looks really good, and I love the color. Now, I do partner with Smith for my helmets, and I wear the Forefront 3. And if you look at that price, where's the price? I don't even know. There it is, $270. Now, I know I'm all about affordable stuff, but I ain't gonna never tell somebody to buy a cheap helmet. That's one thing I won't cheap out on, because I've crashed and hit my head before. So you do want a high quality helmet. So however much you're willing to spend on a helmet, you ain't gonna ever hear me tell you otherwise, because I know what it's like to crash and break a helmet. So this is the most valuable thing you can purchase as a mountain biker. So I don't know, I think Co-op, I do think they have a lot of potential with that in-house brand. I think they could take that pretty far. As far as the Rocky Mountain, I always thought those bikes were super overpriced, especially the ones in here. I don't know where they got that price point from. But as far as the co-op bikes, I do think those are pretty decent. The Salsa, I thought that was decent for what you get with that bike, and it being $3 grand. It is kind of used, so it has some scratches on it, but nothing major. And that fat tire Salsa, that was awesome. But that hardtail, I do think that hardtail has a lot of potential. So I would love to see where they take these bikes, because I think the big brands I think they've just priced themselves way too high to begin with, and it's gonna be hard to get out of that pricing structure. So yeah, I don't really know about this. I don't really know what to say about that. But these in-house brands that these shops are coming out with, like Walmart and now REI, I mean, they've always had that co-op for a while now, but I just think they have a lot of potential with those brands, because they haven't priced themselves too high to be able to compete with the other affordable price bikes in the market. So I'd love to hear your opinion. Let me know what you think, and maybe we'll go try another store.